Hello, hello, my loves. I am in a Britney mood today. I'm in a Britney mood every day, but I'm even more so today. So I want to rank her third album, Britney, her self titled. This is my third favorite Britney album. I love this album. This is the best teen pop record ever made. I will gladly die on that hill. So I'm going to be ranking my personal favorites. So this isn't objectively what I think is the worst two best songs. This is just my personal favorites of the album. So, starting at number 16 is I Love Rock and Roll, her cover of the iconic Joan Jett song. I never totally loved this cover. I don't think it's bad. I just think the original is pretty superior. And don't get me wrong, if I am listening to this song, I'm still listening to this version. That's the thing. I mean, if Britney's covering a song, like, I'm obviously just gonna listen to that version. But I do honestly think the original is very better. And it's not that I don't think this version is good. I just think, I don't know, it doesn't like sell me enough. It doesn't like totally get there for me. And I think that's because the production is a little more sparse, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word to describe it, but like, I just feel like it should be heavier. I feel like I wanted more guitar in this. I wanted more full instrumentation in it. And I just don't think it really gives enough. I love pop rock music. Like, I am like so in love with like the Blinks and the All Time Lows and the like Yellow Cards and like all those bands. So maybe it's like my bias, but I just feel like a rock song should really rock out. Like, I don't know. I just feel like this one doesn't rock out enough. I wanted, like I said, more guitar, just more instrumentation, and that's why the song always kind of left me a little disappointed. It's not bad, I just don't really go back to it at all, really. I do love the video though. I mean, she is serving Sex Kitten, like so playful and fun. And obviously the scene where she sings it in Crossroads, iconic, just absolutely legendary. So I still like this cover. I mean, it's not bad or anything. It's just my least favorite. I listen to this song the least off of this album. Number 15, this is so bad. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. This is so bad. I always have such a bad choice in my like lower half of my rankings. Like, I feel like I always start out my rankings with like really controversial ones. And like, I promise I don't do it on purpose. It's just how it happens to fall out. I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. Like, look, it's an amazing song. I'm not trying to say that. Like, it is a beautiful song. It was obviously like a pivotal moment in her career. I feel like it's definitely one of her most meaningful songs, and I love that about it. This one really does have a lot of meaning to her, and I feel like Britney's discography isn't necessarily personal, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't go to Britney for personal songs, but I just feel like this song actually was very much reflective of her emotions at the time. And I love that about it. I think she sounds gorgeous. She really is giving you like, I'm caught in between. I am confused as to who I am right now. And that's been difficult for me. And that's very relatable. I feel like even if you're literally not a girl, like you can relate to it. Like I relate to this song. And it's very good in that way. Who hasn't felt caught in between? Like, and it doesn't even have to be about growing up. It could be about any life situation. So I appreciate the song for that. It's just, I don't know. It never truly, like, struck me, I guess. Like, a lot of times with songs, sometimes they'll not strike me at first, but then they grow on me. And then, like, I'll have one time that I listen to it, and suddenly it's like, I get it. Like, I have the vision. I never had the vision for this. I never had the come to Jesus moment with I'm not a girl, not yet a woman. You know what the one thing is? This is so insanely petty. This is my pettiest gripe, I think, with any song ever. In the bridge, she says, I'm not a girl, but if you look at me closely, you will see it in my eyes. This girl will always find her way. And I hate how she refers to herself as a girl right after she says, I'm not a girl. Like, literally 2 or 3 lines away, she just said, I'm not a girl. And then she says, this girl will always find her way. And that, like, has always bothered me. That is the absolute pettiest thing I've ever said. Like, that is just such a non-issue, but it, honest to God, has always distracted me in the bridge. Like, it always takes me out because I feel like it's supposed to be this big climactic moment, but there's this line that just sounds off. And the thing is, I understand what the line means. Like, I know she's referring to the girl inside of herself, the one that will always be there. She's growing up, but the little girl will always be inside of her, and if you look in her eyes, you could see her. I get it, but it just sounds off. It has always sounded off to me. That's petty. Like I said, I will own it. Like, that is totally a non-issue, but for me, like, I can't help it. I can't help how I feel about it. I've been listening to the song for so long, and every single time I hear that line, like, it, honest to God, actually does take me out for a second. I will say, though, the final chorus right after that does salvage it, because you have that, like, beautiful swelling, like, instrumentation, and, like, the whole, I'm not a girl, don't tell me what to believe, not yet a woman, I'm just trying to find the woman in me. That part is so gorgeous. She sounds so, so beautiful there. And I love how, like, it ends, like, it brings it to, like, this big conclusion. So yeah, I mean, I still love this song. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I love literally every track here. Simply by virtue of being on this album, I love it. So don't think that, like, I don't like this song. It just never totally hit in the same way the other songs hit, is all. It's always been one of my least favorite Britney ballads. This one and Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know, I'm so sorry. Like, if I'm being truthful right here, they bore me a little bit, just a little bit. If I'm in the right mood, I love them, but I'm not often in the right mood for them. So that is all. All right, now that I've pissed off probably a bunch of Britney stans, number 14 is Intimidated. Intimidated has always been a weird song to me on Britney. I, again, love it, and I do listen to it often because I think it's so super catchy and just, like, super playful and fun. But the weird thing about the song, to me, has always been, it sounds like it belongs on In the Zone. I don't know if I'm the only one that's ever gotten that, but I feel like this song and Brave New Girl from In the Zone should have, like, swapped places, because Brave New Girl sounds more to me like a teen pop song. Like, it sounds more teeny bopper, I guess, and Intimidated sounds like a more mature kind of sounds that she eventually went into with In the Zone. So that has always made the song kind of interesting to me. Like, I always just thought that it was a bit of an outlier on Britney, the album, but I love Intimidated. Intimidated is so much fun. Speaking of In the Zone, I always thought of this song and Showdown as sister songs. When I think of Showdown, I also think of Intimidated, because they have that similar, like, sparse production and flirty, playful kind of vibe. Like, you know something's going down. Here comes the showdown, literally. And I love that about both of these songs. I don't know which one I like better, but Intimidated, I feel like is a little more fun to sing along with, especially the Britney. I love that part so much. It's so much fun to sing along with. Oh, and I also love the pre-chorus so much. She sounds so good in the pre-chorus. The whole, baby, there's something about you, show me that nothing can hold you down. The way that she sings that part, I just think she sounds, like, so pretty, but also, again, like, so flirty, and she's literally, like, challenging this man, like, show me nothing can hold you down. I love how she's presenting this as a challenge, and I love when Britney is in this lane of completely owning her sexuality and also making a game of it. Like, Britney is a fun girl. Like, she just loves to have fun. Like, that is what the song gives to me. Like, there is this, like, underlying playfulness to it beneath, like, the really sexually charged exterior that I think makes it so quintessentially Britney, and that's why I love it. This song is so much fun. It's a shame it's kind of a lesser known track. It was a B-side for Slave, and it wasn't on the album proper, but I mean, I still include it in the ranking. Like, I still just count it as a part of Britney. But yeah, it was a B-side for Slave. It was also on the Jimmy Neutron soundtrack of all things. Like, this is not the song. Like, why would they include this on a children's movie soundtrack. I do not understand. It's not even like it fits tonally with that movie. I feel like the song has nothing to do with that movie, but it was still on the soundtrack. I always found that funny. Like, of all the songs, I feel like there are songs that would have been better on a Jimmy Neutron soundtrack from this album, and they choose Intimidated. Like, why was this chosen? This is not for the kiddies. But anyways, I love Intimidated. Moving on, number 13 is Boys. Sometimes a girl just needs one. Boys is another one that I think is so playfully fun. Like, there is just so much charm in this song. I feel like you could hear the grin on Britney's face as she is singing this song. She clearly loves this song. I feel like she's done this on literally every single tour, and for good reason. I feel like this is a really fun song live. And this one, you could really hear the Janet Jackson influence. I feel like on this track and some of the other tracks I'm gonna get to later, you really hear Britney's love for Janet Jackson coming through. Because I could totally hear Janet singing this song, but Britney definitely like takes that inspiration and makes it her own. And I just love how it's sort of like a story. Like, I don't know, it really feels like Britney is playing out this love scene for you. Like, she spotted this man dancing, and she's looking at his lips and his brown eyes and the sexy hair. Like, it just really does take you through this little journey, like this little moment that she went through at the club or wherever she is. And it's fun. Like, it really does have the vibe of you just saw someone cute and you start dancing with them. And that is just like a really fun idea for her song. It's nothing deep, it's nothing particularly new, but I think there's a place for songs like this where the stakes are really low. Like, I love when pop songs have just high drama and like craziness, but I love a song like this too, where it's literally just this low-key little moments that she's sharing with this guy. Like, she just saw him and they're dancing all night, and that's basically the song. I love that. I also love the bridge so much. This is maybe the best bridge on the album. I don't know. I don't want to like make a bold statement right now, but I feel like it is a very, very strong contender. Like, the reason why I don't like the co-ed remix as much is because it doesn't have the bridge. And I love the co-ed remix too. I think Pharrell really does add a lot to it. And it does like elevate the song. Not elevate, but like it gives it a different vibe. But the reason why I think this version is better is specifically because of the bridge. It just sounds so pretty. Like, it sounds very beautiful. She just sounds so beautiful on it. And the music too, it just sounds really, really pretty, and it just takes you to the stars. So that is why I love Boys. Boys is literally such a fun time. Number 12 is What It's Like to Be Me. What It's Like to Be Me is one of Britney's best Bitch Accept Me for Who I Am songs, and those are the types of songs by Britney I love the most. We'll see later in this list, like, I really, really love songs that are like that, and What It's Like to Be Me is a great one. This one, I think, has the rock instrumentation that I was missing in I Love Rock and Roll. I think this one is just such a, like, banger. Like, it is literally a headbanger, and the lyrics are so cathartic to sing, because who hasn't been there in that mode where you want someone to understand what your life is like? And especially for Britney, I would imagine, like, she could have used that. I mean, not just during this time, but during her entire life, and especially during, like, the craziness of her career. She really could use someone who understands what it is like to be her, so she could relate to that. And as much as I don't like discussing this man, Justin Timberlake did write on this song, and lyrically, it makes a lot of sense for him, too. I do think that coming from the positions that they were in, it makes sense. A track like this just makes sense. No one can understand what it's like to be them, or a very select group of people can only understand what it's like to be them. And I think that there is value in that. So this is probably the best thing to come from their relationship, basically. I love What It's Like to Be Me. Honestly, it is just such a great scream-along song. To me, this song is the sister to What You See Is What You Get from Oops. I again, always thought of these songs as sisters because they're just thematically kind of similar to me, as in they're both songs of Britney asserting herself and saying, in that one, like, what you see is what you get, this is me, and what it's like to be me is her saying, you don't understand me, you don't know what my life is like. And I love when Britney sings about topics like that, because I just think she sells it so well. Like, you really do hear the passion in her voice on this one. She really sounds frustrated and like fed up of people not understanding her. So that is why I love What It's Like to Be Me. Such a great song to listen to when you're angry. Number 11 is When I Found You. Pretty much the exact opposite. This one is such a beautiful, sappy, corny teen pop love ballad, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. This song is so heavenly. I literally feel angelic when I listen to it. It is just an ascension song. Like, it really is an ascension song. She sounds so happy on it. Like, there's just this blissfulness to her performance in this song that truly makes the energy of it tangible. Like, I just feel this song when I listen to it. I cannot listen to the song at anything less than full blast. I went through a phase in high school where I kind of fell in love with this song. Like, I always loved it, but I got like obsessed with it. And every single day on the bus, like literally, I think you could have heard my earphones from like the back of the bus, and I was like sitting in the front because I had to blast it. This one and a song I'll get to later are two that I just absolutely blasted. And also I Turn to You by Christina Aguilera and Get Mine, Get Yours by Christina Aguilera. Those four songs I am like 100% convinced are gonna give me tinnitus when I grow up, unfortunately. But honestly, it was worth it because When I Found You literally just delivered me so much joy. Like, what a great way to start the day to listen to this song, because it literally is just so happy. Like I said, it's very blissful. That's the word that I would use to describe it, because she sells it. She sounds like she is so convinced of everything. From the opening line, which is one of my favorite opening lines in any Britney song, I believe we all have one true love somewhere in this world. I do. Like, she just sounds so convinced of it. And I just love that. Like, it honestly does bring a tear to my eye. Like, I have cried to the song a lot because it really does give you the fantasy of being in love. That's what it is. It sells you the love fantasy. And I think that there's just a place for songs like that. Like, a song to just kind of get lost in. And that is what When I Found You is. And also, the bridge, again, I don't want to make any bold claims here. It may be the best one on the album. It may be. It is, again, very, very strong contender. It just sounds so grand. Like, it just gives you drama. How life unfolds, no one knows. I thought love was just a tingling of the skin. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. It just sounds so poetic. And again, I think, like, the way the instruments kind of, like, swell up after that, and you get into the whole I found the closest thing to heaven. Oh my god, it is so, so good. I need to listen to it right now. I literally feel like I just need to listen to it right now because now I'm just like hyping it up in my mind. I love When I Found You so, so much. Okay, I actually did listen to When I Found You. I had to, like, it was just like in my head and I needed to get it out of my head. Anyways, number 10 is Bombastic Love. Bombastic Love has always been such a, like, favorite to me. Like, I was very, very obsessed with this song in middle school specifically. I, like, played it out. This was one of my most played Britney songs, like, back then. And it's not really anymore. It's still up there, but it's not, I don't listen to it as much as I did. But I think because I do have the nostalgia for the song. When I was first getting into Britney, this was one of the first album cuts that I listened to. Like, I had always known all of her singles, obviously, but I never, like, dove deep into her albums until, like, around 2012, I think, 2011. And this was just a standout to me initially. I just think that the song, true to its name, is bombastic. Like, I love a really big, grandiose sounding pop song, and that is what the song delivers on. It really does sound huge. It just sounds like this major moment. This is bombastic love, so fantastic. And I love how she says it's gonna be exactly like in a movie, because I literally do picture this song being in a movie. This sounds very romantic comedy to me. Like, this sounds like it would be in a early 2000s rom-com. I love that, but I feel like it wouldn't be a credits song. I feel like this needs to be played in the movie. I don't know if it's like a montage moment, but there is too much drama to this song. It needs to be played as something is happening, because it is so big sounding. I love how it opens. I love how she says, "I'm here to testify." Like, she literally is bringing us to court. She is literally Courtney. Better Call Saul is shaking. And I also love the violins in the song. I think that's what makes the song sound so huge. And also, like, the choir in the background, like, doing the little ha-has, like, it just makes it sound like huge. It almost sounds like a song that would be on, like, Hercules or something. I don't know why. Like, I get like a Greek like tragedy from this song for some reason. I get like high goddess and god drama from this song. It's giving me Mount Olympus for some reason. Also, one of my favorite lines on the album is here: "Don't know why I feel so insecure. I never understood what it's good for." I love that part. That is just like a mantra of mine. Like, that is just such a great line. That's always been one that stuck out to me. So yeah, I love Bombastic Love. I have a bombastic love for the song. I think that this one and When I Found You are tied. Like, they basically are both my number 10, but I only gave it to this one because I just kind of give it the edge for being one of the first Britney album cuts that I truly fell in love with. And I think it's just because of that I gave it the edge a little bit. I also loved When I Found You, but I just really, really was obsessed with this one. So even though I think When I Found You is a better song, I do just have that personal sort of attachment to this one a little bit stronger. Not by much, but like by just enough where I do have to rank it above, because it just makes me feel like I'm brought back to that time when I was first getting into Britney. Number 9 is I Run Away. Speaking of drama, I think this may be actually the most like heavy, dramatic song on this album. This song just sounds so heartbreaking. Again, like those beautiful strings that are playing throughout it, it sounds so sorrowful. And from the moment that you get into it, her vulnerable vocal performance is just so heartbreaking. Like, you took your love away too fast, left no chance to say look back. Like, I'm actually tearing up right now because like when I think about this song, I just picture like that deep sadness. Like, honestly, the saddest lyrics on the album are here: "Let's pretend that I've moved on, and I'll tell myself that life goes on without you." Like, that is just absolutely like harrowing. That is just such a bone-cutting, like sad lyric. I love a great sad song, and this is just one of Britney's best sad songs. Again, just elevated by her really vulnerable performance. Like, she just sounds like she has been through this awful heartbreak, and the emotions and the drama is just so heightened by the huge and really kind of loud production. This is the other song that caused my tinnitus, because the part at the end where she says, or she belts out the "I Run Away," and it has like that like auto-tune, like robotic effect on it. Literally, that part is so loud. It literally like hurt to listen to it, and I had to listen to it on full blast. Like, what can I tell you? I had no option. The song leaves me no option, like, especially towards the end. Oh my god. The outro, or I guess not the outro, but like the bridge in this song, it's not like there's really lyrics for the bridge. It's more like an instrumental, and then she goes into the final chorus. But like that part, it just really takes the song there. It just elevates it so much, because I think the instrumentation itself sounds heartbreaking. Like, it conveys the emotion. The violin is really doing the heavy lifting there. It just really sounds devastating. Like, you don't even need to listen to the rest of the song, and if you just listened to that one part, oh my god, like, you'll get it. Like, you just get it. And then those little I Run Aways in the background during that part, it literally just makes it sound so haunting. Like, it just is a very haunting, chilling kind of track. And I love that. Like, it really is just such a devastatingly sad song, and it deserves so much more. This is, honest to God, one of Britney's best depressing bops. Like, this is a depression bop, and I feel like no one talks about it. I mean, people do, obviously, but I feel like it deserves more love. Like, I just really think that this song is very underrated, even among Britney stans. I feel like I need to see more people talking about it because it really is a masterpiece. Like, this is a work of art. Like, this is genuinely just such a beautiful, beautiful song. Number 8 is Before the Goodbye. Before the Goodbye and Bombastic Love are sisters to me. I have a lot of sister songs on this album, like songs that I associate with other songs. For some reason, on this album specifically, there's a lot of like sibling songs. And Before the Goodbye and Bombastic Love, I always kind of lumped in together because they both sound like songs that would be in movies. I always pictured Before the Goodbye being in a movie, and I love Before the Goodbye a little bit more than Bombastic Love because I feel like it's kind of a blend of sad but also dancey. Like, you have that really like pulsating synthy beat in the chorus, and like it goes off. Like, it's a good track to dance to, but it's also really sad. Like, the lyrics are very sad, and the best pop songs are the ones that have the sad lyrics, but you could dance to. Like, those are the best kinds of songs, and Before the Goodbye is one of the best examples of that. And I love how she sounds in it. I love the quickness of the verses, like the very fast-paced delivery that she has during them. I love that little trying not to watch the clock tick tick ticking as the time goes by in the first verse. She was predicting Tick Tick Boom from her next self-titled album with that one. Love that. I also love the lyric, all the little things that make me weak, your eyes and the way you speak, without you baby, I'm not me. That's such a great line. I love that line. And again, it has that sadness to it, but then you get into this like big electronic chorus that just makes you want to move. It's that juxtaposition that really makes the song work for me. I also love the pre-chorus a lot. Again, with like this little choir moment, like how she's belting it out, though you're near, still I want to make it clear, love, I will always be around. Oh my god, it just sounds so drama. Like, it's just so big, and especially with that like choir in the background. I don't know if it is a choir, it just sounds like a choir. She took us to church. She took us to church with that pre-chorus, and I love it. This song is just so, so good. It literally is very representative of what I love the most about Britney, because I love when she has more electronic elements in her songs. Like, I want a full album that's like Britney electronica, or like Britney Eurodance electronica mix. That is what I want the most. I want a whole album of And Then We Kiss type songs, is basically what I'm saying, because that's the style that I think she really thrives in, and I feel like it's kind of underrated. I feel like a lot of people don't think of her necessarily in that lane, but that is just the sounds that I personally love the most when she does. And I would love a whole album of songs like that. And Before the Goodbye is an example of that to me. Like, this is really the style of Britney song that I just love the most. I love like a really good Eurodance electronica sounding kind of Britney song. Moving on, number 7 is Overprotected. Overprotected has always been one of my favorite Britney singles. This song is just so relatable to like everything. I feel like everyone has gone through the moments where they felt like people were maybe looking out for them, but it was too much and you felt sheltered and overprotected. Like, I think that that's a very relatable thing to a lot of people, and that's why I love this song so much. And also, this is a very prophetic song for Britney. It's very strange looking at a lot of her early catalog, like this song and Lucky, And seeing how she kind of predicted what her life would end up being, it's kind of creepy in that way. Like, especially the line, I need to make mistakes just to learn who I am, and I don't want to be so damn protected. Is that not what she would go through years later? I mean, it's kind of, again, creepy to think about how she was singing these lyrics and they sort of came true. And that does kind of make it a little sad in a way, but the song itself, I mean, is just so, so good. Like, this really is just a perfect pop song. It is so insanely catchy. I love, again, the drama of it. God, I need some answers. When she says, God, I need some answers, literally, I am on my knees. I am praying. I am looking up to Jesus. That's what I love the most about this song, is just how grand the stakes are, like how big it feels, and how Britney just sounds so angry and letting out her pent-up frustrations at the world. Angry Britney is like the best Britney. Like, that is when she gives like the best performances. Like when she did You Oughta Know on the circus tour, literally she just sounds so amazing because she sells it so well. And this song is really giving you that story of this extremely sweet southern girl who is now the biggest name in the world, and she needs to be able to still live her life. She still needs to know who she is, and she needs to discover all of that, and she's not getting the chance to because she is so sheltered and protected by the people around her. Like, how is she supposed to know what's right? She has to do it their way. It is so, so good. Like, it really works as like this plea for help, and it's kind of sad to think about this song like that, but removing that context from it, the song itself is a bop. Like, let's not get it twisted. This is just such an amazing song. It's really one of the best early 2000s pop singles. It just has that sound. I mean, Max Martin was the producer for the song, so that makes sense. Like, it is just that very early 2000s teen pop sound that I love, and that's why the song needs to be on every throwback playlist ever made. So number 6 is Lonely. Lonely is literally just such a bop. I feel like this was planned to be a single. I don't know if it was, but I feel like it must have been because it's really early in the track listing. It's like number 3, I think. And I don't understand why it wasn't a single. I feel like it really, really should have been. This one is such a like rock Britney moment. I love a rock Britney moment. It's the attitude in the song for me. Just the way that she is so over this man. Like, think of all the times that I wasted. Think of all the times that I took you back. Like, she just really sells it. And like I said, Angry Britney is the best Britney in songs. Like, I just feel like she really has that emotional performance where she's just letting out all of her pent-up frustrations in the track, and that's what makes it so good, because you can sense that emotion. And also, I feel like this is another Janet Jackson track. Like, I totally hear Janet singing. I think this album in general is the most Janet-inspired Britney album, because obviously she's always like been inspired by her. I feel like this album particularly took a lot of cues from Janet Jackson, which makes it sound even greater. Every album could benefit from some inspiration from Ms. Jackson. And Lonely, I really, really hear her singing on this too. I feel like this totally could have been on maybe All For You. Like, I could kind of see it on All For You. It gives me Trust to Try or Who from that album, and I love that. I love a good rock kind of moment. I love when the pop girlies go rock for a track. That's always some of my favorite songs. Like Rock Me In off of Circus. Oh my god, I love that song so much. But yeah, I love Lonely so much. Her performance of it on Dream Within the Dream is so good. You need to look it up. Number 5 is Anticipating. Anticipating, speaking of Miss Jackson, this is totally a Janet Jackson song, and it is all the better for it. I love Anticipating so much. When I first heard Anticipating, I literally ascended. I was seeing God. I saw the face of God. I went into heaven. I was singing with the angels. That is what this song does to me. It just brings me there because it is so euphoric. This is one of the most euphoric Britney songs. It just sounds like she's having the time of her life. I love the pre-chorus when she goes, skip on the drinks, head to the floor, making my way, and that's for sure. Like, it's just so joyous. It's so, like, boppy. Like, you really do just need to bop along. It is a bop along kind of song. And I really wish that she would perform this more. I don't know why she hasn't performed this ever since Dream Within the Dream. I don't think she has. I don't think she has performed this since the tour for this album, which is kind of weird to me. Like, how can you have a song this good and not perform it? Like, I want to see what kind of visuals they could come up with this for a live performance, because it's totally like a 70s disco throwback song, and it's so much fun. Like, I'm picturing roller skates, I'm picturing like bright sunny day, having fun, and like she's rolling up in like, I don't know, a pink Cadillac or something. That is just what I see for this song. And it is just so infectious. Like, it, honest to God, is just one that puts a smile on your face. I have to declare this the official serotonin booster of Britney. Like, this is the one that you put on for the serotonin boost, because it just makes, like, you happy. It just makes your skin glow. It delivers you vitamin D. It's a multivitamin. Like, literally, you just take it and you're fine. Like, you don't need to take any of your other vitamins if you just listen to Anticipating every day. So that is why I love this song. It really is just, when I first was listening to Britney, again, like, this was another one of my initial favorites, and it has just like stayed a favorite. I think it's actually only grown on me since I first listened to it, because I just really love the whole dance pop thing she has going on in it. It's very, again, All For You. Like, it's very All For You, the song. Like, I totally picture Janet singing this, especially the little refrain where she's like, gotta really let me know if you want me, gotta turn me on, make me feel sexy. I so hear Janet's voice singing that part. Like, this is totally a song that I could see her singing, and that is always a mark of quality. So number 4 is Cinderella. I need a video for Cinderella. If I had one wish, if I had like a genie and they only granted me one wish, I would be like, I want a video for Cinderella by Britney Spears. And I already know what it would be, because the song itself is very broken fairy tale. That's what it is. It's the classic Cinderella tale flipped on its head. So the video I picture being this dark, gothic, Tim Burton-esque fantasy. Like, that's what I picture of it. I want Britney running away in this giant Cinderella dress, and she's trying to get away from, I don't know, like, evil Prince Charming. There's something here. I could see the visuals. I don't know what the storyline would be, but like, I'm just picturing like what it would look like, and I'm just picturing dark, gothic, like muted colors. Like, it's very blue, and there's like a lot of blacks, and I'm just picturing like leaves like blowing all over the place, and it's a very haunting atmosphere, and that is just what I see for the song. I just need a video. Like, I'm sorry, I just need a video. The song is too damn good to not have a video. It is begging for it. But anyways, about the song itself, this is just one of Britney's best deep cuts. I just really think this is one of her best songs, like, in general, not just off this album, because it is just giving that, again, huge drama fantasy of her being upset with this man who is just not good enough for her, and now Cinderella's got to go. Oh my god, the chorus in this song is so explosive. Like, I'm sorry for running away like this. I'm sorry, I've already made my wish. It's just so good. And I love how she goes through the reasons as to why this man was not her Prince Charming. Like, I love how she's saying, from time to time, I tried to tell you what was on my mind. You tell me not today. Again, there's that theme of Britney trying to speak up, but pretty much being ignored. That's a really big theme on this album specifically, and I think that's why it strikes such a nerve with me, because like I feel like that a lot of the time too. So that is why I think this album has always really struck me and has really struck a lot of people. And it's not like that isn't something that's also present in all of her other albums, but on this one specifically, I feel like it's the strongest. And on this song specifically, I really get that, especially on the bridge where she says, "I did everything you wanted me to, but now I shall break free from all your lies. I won't be blind. You see, my love, it can't be sacrificed. I won't return to the..." Oh my god, that little spoken bridge is so good. And then how it goes into like the, "I'm so sorry, I've already made up my mind." And then it just like goes off with that final chorus. Oh my god, this is just pop perfection. This is literally one of Britney's best tracks. This is such a strong track. I need a video. I just need a video. Like, honestly, if I die without a video to Cinderella, I'm not going to die happy. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be dying happy, frankly. Like, I don't really see that happening. So I guess I'm just going to have to die unhappy because I'm not getting a video for Cinderella. It is what it is. What can we do? Not even a live performance either. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think she did this on Dream Within a Dream. At least not on the video version, like the DVD of it. I don't think that she ever did this song live, unless maybe she did it at maybe like a one-off show during that tour, but I don't think she ever did this one live, which is like, how can you make this song and not perform it live? I just don't even understand how you could have the song in your discography and just glance over it. Like, what? Like, that just does not make sense to me. Cinderella is so good. We need to bring it back. Someone on TikTok make the song popular, make it go viral, and just have it have a resurgence. I need some acknowledgement of the song, okay? Anyways, number 3 is "I'm a Slave for You." This is my favorite Britney single, period. Literally, there's not even a competition. I mean, there is a competition, but "I'm a Slave for You" just is my favorite. I just absolutely adore every single thing about "I'm a Slave for You." The way that she used it to change her image and introduce this new, sexy, fearless, bold Britney. And even just the beginning of her saying, "All you people look at me like I'm a little girl. Did you ever think it would be okay for me to step into this world?" I just think that there's so much power in that line, because she really is taking the media's portrayal of her and what everyone thought about her and saying, "This is not me. The person you've made me out to be in your head is not the person that I am. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I want to do and who I want to be." And that is what "I'm a Slave for You" does. It just, beyond being an immaculate song, it is just representative of everything I love about Britney. The Neptune's production on it is just so good. Like, it just has that really slinky, really sexual, kind of steamy sound. You have like the little breathing in the background. It just really does sound like you're in this sweaty club, like the video. And the video is my favorite music video of all time, period. Just absolutely adore it. I always wanted to learn the choreography, but I am too damn lazy to be a dancer. I would never, ever do any choreography, okay? I do not have the rhythm in my body. I did not go to the Abbey Lee Dance Company, okay? But I will gladly watch the video over and over again. She must be so tired of the Slave choreography, because she always like busts it out whenever she does the song, and she obviously does the song literally on every tour and every performance. And I feel like she must have done this choreography like literally like thousands of times. Imagine how bored the girl must be. But Slave is, like I said, my favorite Britney single. It is just the sexiest, steamiest, greatest song. And it also just gives you that empowerment of feeling like you are getting out of your box. That's what it is. It's like this is me coming out. This is me showing you who I really am and what I want to do, and I'm taking ownership of my life. That is why I love Slave so much. Number 2 is Let Me Be. My top 2 is kind of weird. I feel like not many people would probably have it, but it is what it is. Let Me Be is just a very deeply personal song to me, because it literally is one of those songs that just reaches into the utter depths of my soul and pulls out all my emotions. Like, it literally just puts into words everything that I feel, and that is why I love it. Like, frankly, that is just why I listen to it so often. And I also think it is just like a great song. Like, the song itself, I also think is underrated. It has a great beat to it. It has really great production, and I just love the lyrics. Like, think that I might back down, but I won't. Think that I might have doubts, but I don't. No insecurities. Won't you just let me be? Like, oh my god. When I tell you, no other song, like, summarizes me as a person, because I feel like this message isn't necessarily one that's explored a lot in music, and it's one that I feel Britney, of all people, can especially get across. It's her saying, like, you are trying to make issues about me that don't exist so you can solve them, but they're not here, so literally just let me be. I feel like I don't see that topic really discussed a lot in songs, and like I said, that is just definitely one I think Britney can get across so powerfully. I especially love the second verse where she says, "Trust in my instincts, trust that I know what's right. These are the reasons that keep you up at night." Like, you are bothered that I'm good with myself. You're bothered that I don't need to depend on you for help. That's a very heavy message, I feel, for a teen pop album like this. I feel like this song is actually one of Britney's deeper songs. There's just so much that you can read into it, I feel. I feel like when she was singing it, she really genuinely felt it, and I wish that she would perform it again. Like, I really would love a live performance of this so much, because it is also really catchy. Like, it's a really like fun song. Like, it's just a bop, but it has really deep lyrics that I feel like go underappreciated. I don't know, I feel like this is kind of a hidden gem of Britney's discography, and maybe that's just because I have a very personal attachment to it. Like, when I say certain songs are just a part of, like, my core DNA, like, I can't imagine what my life was like before this song. That's what Let Me Be is to me. It's a weird one for number 2. I feel like I don't see a lot of people that, like, stan this song, but maybe they're out there. Maybe they're just the non-vocal minority, I guess. But that is my number 2. Number 1 is That's Where You Take Me. This is a strange ass number 1. This is a weird number 1. I never have seen anyone else like the song as much as I do. This is my favorite Britney Spears song, period. This literally is my favorite Britney song, and I always knew that. Like, this isn't a recent development. When I first heard That's Where You Take Me, I was like, this is it. This is the peak. And that was many moons ago. That was all the way back in, it had to be either 2011 or 2012. So a strong decade of this being my favorite Britney Spears song. That's Where You Take Me, I lump in with Heaven on Earth and Trip to Your Heart as ethereal journey Britney. That is what I get from these songs, and those are also some of my favorite Britney songs, but this one is my favorite. She is just at her most gorgeous sounding on this song, and the song itself just sounds so beautiful. Again, having that, like, lightly electronic kind of production, and also, like, the bells just sound really pretty in the song. I think they just add that, like, extra element that really sets the song over the top for me. And I just think this song is a piece of poetry. like, it is just written so well. My favorite line is, built these walls up so high, needed my room to breathe. Oh baby, you tear them down. Can't believe you changed my mind. That part literally, like, always makes me cry, and it's the first verse. Like, just immediately, like, I'm already crying. And that's the other great thing about the song. It is a crying song, and it is a song to get lit to, which are my favorites. I love when I could dance to a song and cry to it, and this is a perfect representation of that. And I just think the imagery of the song is really, really pretty. Like, I love, with you I get so high, lost in the crystal sky. You are this melody, that's where you take me. It's just so pretty sounding, and there's just, like, kind of an innocence to the song. I think it just sounds like this blissful young love type of song. I want to find a love one day that makes me feel the way the song feels. If they don't make me feel like how I feel when I listen to the song, it's over. We're done. Like, we're not doing this. That is exactly what the song has done to me. It's made me raise my expectations a little too much, because I don't think anything will ever make me feel as good as this song makes me feel. I simply go to a higher plane of existence when I listen to this song. That's what That's Where You Take Me is. It's one of the ethereal Britney songs. This is where I love Britney the most. Like I said, I love her in this really, like, electronic, dancey, but kind of dreamy sound. Like, I want a whole album of this, and I want a whole album of And Then We Kiss, and a whole album of Don't Hang Up. Those are the kinds of songs where I just think she shines the most, or at least the ones that I personally love the most. And that is why That's Where You Take Me is my number one. It's my number one Britney song of all time. Like, to me, this is a comfort place song. I don't think it's her best song, but I just don't get the same feeling from any other song than when I listen to this one. The song makes me feel, like, safe. Like, it makes me feel, like, comforted. It makes me feel like I have a warm blanket around me. It is just such a safe place for me. Whenever I listen to it, I'm just like, let me escape the world for 3.5 minutes. And that is why I love the song so much. That is where it takes me, literally. So that is my ranking of Britney. This is a weird ranking. I feel like no one else has my top two. Maybe they do, and if they do, I would love to meet them, because you have taste. And anyone that stands That's Where You Take Me is a best friend of mine. So yeah, I love this album so much. It's my third favorite Britney album. A lot of my favorite Britney songs are on this album. Like, I feel like a lot of the individual songs I like better than the bulk of In the Zone and Blackout, which is kind of crazy because I love those albums more, but the highs on Britney, I think, are even higher to me than both of those albums, which is kind of crazy, but that's just how much I love this album. So that is my ranking. Let me know what your guys' favorites from this iconic, legendary, greatest teen pop album ever made is, and I will see you next time.